Hello, everybody. Welcome. In this video, we'll be talking about how to email your teacher or professor appropriately as a student in school. I'm making this video because every now and then I get emails that are very poorly written from my high school students, and they're not necessarily to blame. Maybe they're the ones that ever showed them how to do it properly. So I thought I'd make this video for them and for anybody else that could benefit from it. So obviously, you want to put their email address here. The subject line, you want to make sure it's something that's clear so that the teacher knows what it is that you're going to be talking about. It's also a good way to organize emails when you save them so you can search for things super easily. So, for example, maybe you want to email about the lesson 2 test, or maybe you're emailing about the lesson 3 project, something like that. Because what you should do when you're done with your emails is you should save them in a folder. If you're using Gmail, it's really easy. You can take your emails and create folders. For example, emails that I get from parents, I save them in a folder that's called From Parents. Or emails I get from students, I almost always save them in a folder that I call From Students. Or maybe they're emails from administration or from a department. I've got a whole bunch of folders, and it just helps me to organize them. And also, later when you want to find an email, if you've saved it, it's super easy to find it. You can just search in the search box, lesson 2 test, and if you've saved that email, it will come up. So again, make sure that box is clear as to what it is you're going to talk about. The next thing you're going to want to do is have some sort of a greeting at the beginning of your email. I don't know why this isn't big, but let's do this really quick. Okay, so you don't have to be as formal as saying Dear Mr. or Dear Mrs. So-and-so. However, I would use something like good morning or good afternoon, good evening to your teacher. If you have a more informal relationship with your teacher, maybe hello, or if you're in Spanish class, maybe you'll say hola or buenos dias. But have something there at the beginning. Don't just get into your email right away and say something like, "Where's my test?" or "My grade is missing. Where is it?" Have some sort of a greeting. Good morning, Mr. Smith, for example. And then when you're in the body of your email, I copied a message that I typed up just a minute ago. So I'm going to paste that so you can kind of see what an email might look like. So I've said, I wanted to ask you about my missing project for lesson 2. I thought that I'd turned that in, but it is showing as missing. When you have a moment, could you see if I turned it in? If not, I will, of course, submit it as needed. Thank you so much. And then you put your name there. The most common error or problem that students have with making emails is one, one mistake is they just put the entire email in the subject line. Don't do that. Two, this is often omitted. This part right here, the hello or the good morning or whatever, that's often left out. And then this part is often just very blatant and sometimes rude. Like it could be, "Where's my test?" or "I did my homework," or just something that's super not clear and rushed, and it just comes off as being really rude. So you want to make sure you're polite and be kind, and then have a "thank you for your time, thank you, I look forward to hearing from you," something like that, and then put your name at the end and then send it. Now, you're going to find that some teachers, in response to you, don't even do this, and uh, let them do them. Don't worry about that, but you should do your thing well, do it correctly. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is that if, let's say you have a teacher who gets 30 emails in any given day, and 29 of them are written well with something like this, and one of them it just comes off as really rude and not polite. Which email do you think that that teacher is probably going to address last? Probably yours. So that's one reason. Reason number two is that whether you like it or not, email is still a primary form of communication in the business world. Whether you're owning the business or you're contacting the business or uh, if you're emailing your doctor, that's also another place that uses email. It's a very common form of communication, and you need to be able to use it well when you're applying for a job and you're speaking to the person who's doing the interviewing, there's a very good chance if you're not talking on the phone, you're going to be communicating via email, and you want to make sure that you do it correctly. And this is just my suggestion about how to go about doing this. Of course, there are other suggestions out there, but for my students, this is what I suggest that you do. If you guys learn anything from this video, please just remember to be polite, be kind, respectful of the person's time, and be clear about your message. That's it. See you next time.